Yo, is Sung Jin-Woo still a valuable unit to invest rerolls into in update 8.5, or has he fallen out of the meta as one of the highest damaging units of his time? In this video, I'll be going through his DPS calculations, which stages he shines the most in, and his unit synergies. By the way, if we do hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month, I will be doing a 2,000 Robux bundle giveaway in my Discord server, so don't forget to join it.
It's not a game, I'm not a robot, and I'm challenging you. I'm not a man, I'm in your faces, I'm getting see it through. Right before your eyes, forces multiply. Got the flame arise inside. As the power grows, does the suffer shows, light that will go shine, stop so you know that we out there, swatting lines in the making. Yeah, we'll pass, we not breaking. Can't hold on our life for change. And
SJW does 53k DPS plus Baru doing 91k and Bear doing 18k, which totals out to 163k DPS. Arise depends a little too much on both your damage stat and the enemy scaling, so I won't be adding them to his damage calculations. But also, if the enemies are at the end of his range, he can deal 15 million damage within 5 seconds, and on top of that he has nukes. So in other words, Sung Jin was very reliant on his summons for his max DPS.
So I do think I gotta explain a little bit more on the synergies for Sung Jin-Woo Igris. So the reason why I picked Griffith and Kaguya to begin with is pretty much just that they have a damage buff, which means that they're replaceable in the way that you can pick any damage buffer that works. But they also, on top of that, have CC, and they, on top of that, are sub DPSs, something that Sung Jin-Woo and Igris really does take advantage of due to the fact that he does most of his DPS single target, because his summons is only single target DPS. And on top of that, SBA and range doesn't really change much for him, so damage is legitimately everything that he cares about. His summons gets more HP the more damage that he has, so that's pretty much the reason for that. And then we have Giselle. Giselle is here because, and why he's not replaceable as well, is mainly because he gets a 50% buff to all summons HP. There is no other buffer like that in the game. I'm gonna show off how much HP a Steel can have with this team comp. I'll see if I fuck it up or not. I hope I don't. I shouldn't fuck it up, but we'll see in a second.
took the mask off to be free. Bought it out in that memory. Now we know that life will change.
That's 6 million HP right there. 100k DPS, and EDPS should be reaching a lot more, but because it's hitting multiple targets, it isn't going to be hitting that amount. Then we do have Beru, which does an insane amount of damage here, and a almost 15 million damage Steel. kind of like I suspected. This is the reason why I do think that these supports are the best. Of course, any damage supports also work, especially if they have CC. Although, enough yapping, let's get into doing some stages. I'm gonna be honest, the EX stage probably isn't the best place to showcase this dude, but it is at the same time one of the stages he clears, and it will very much give you kind of a complete understanding on his pros and cons, like pretty early on in the video here. Champions, let's go. So pretty much I'm gonna be showcasing this guy, so I'm just gonna really quickly place this guy down, use his ultimate ability right away, and hope I do him justice. Alright, we got it. You basically do want to use this guy's ability as early as possible though, and even though I do know that we're definitely going to be getting carried heavily by Griffith will not be carrying in terms of killing the last boss. He will mainly be there for the damage reduction that the bosses has. And Sung Jin-Woo Igris did get selected there, but doesn't matter. Griffith, like, kind of seems like he can't get selected in a way. I have no idea how that works, but it does. That is gonna have to be good enough. 1, 2, and 1, 2. As you see there, right there, early on carry.
Are you sure?
In all honesty, he does do extremely well early on. That guy there. As you can see, Sung Jin-Woo does need a decent AoE DPS, or else he can't really clear the stage, mainly because most of his DPS is single target, and because he needs quite a bit of time to build up his DPS. Even so, this was a really chill clear. In all reality, I don't even think you need to spam him down and kill the other bosses the way that I did, but you know, I just wanted to show that trick off because it is a really good trick that you can use. I did forget to mention that you mainly want either a good burb or a good cat. Burb is best with Deadeye, and a strange cat is best with Monarch, because you can get the highest damage percentage with a cat, and with Deadeye, Burb has like both really high damage percentage and a really high crit rate and crit damage. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. Alright, for this run, I will actually be using... Let's use this team comp actually.
Plug!
This isn't a speed run. We still did pretty well, I would say. So, is Sung Jin-Woo Igris still worth getting? In all honesty, yeah. Even with his drawbacks, like his slow ramp up to his max DPS, not having the top tier AoE damage, or lacking strong synergies, he's still one of the best overall units in the game. Sure, Goblin Slayer can out DPS him in raw burst DPS, but that's all Goblin Slayer is good for. Escanor can hit massive AoE numbers like over 1,000,000 DPS, but Sung Jin-Woo still wins in single target damage. In all honesty, another really good option there is definitely going to be Broly. Broly is insane in AoE DPS. And other than that, he is still one of the best Rift MVP stealers in the game. Just position him right, so his summons spawn on top of the enemies, and you will see. On top of that, he can pretty much solo worldwinds. Like, you don't really need many more units than him. If you have a Monarch, you can definitely get through worldwinds just like that, honestly. And what's the cherry on top? He doesn't even have his familiar yet. The devs pretty much already confirmed that all Vanguard rarity units are getting familiars. So when that happens, he's only going to get stronger. So yeah, even 6-7 months later, Sung Jin-Woo Igris is still an absolutely insane unit to pick up. Anyways, enough yapping. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like and a sub, join the Discord server for the giveaway, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.